on delegators, on administrators, after you finish your registration from the first floor, okay, you can go to your seat because the first section will be held in a few minutes. By the way, you can take the earphone. It is beside the registration desk on the first floor. You can take your ID card to exchange the earphone for your translation. We have the translator for all of you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants. I am Nantakan Impong, an English teacher from Minburi Technical College, and
สวัสดีครับ I'm กสิเดชปุณพานิช a student of เชียงใหม่ Vocational College
welcome to the official meeting, ASEAN TVET officials meeting on advancing TVET towards internationalization of vocational education qualification and standard for sustainable development started from the 1st to the 4th August 2019 at the Emperor Chiang Mai Province, Thailand. This ASEAN TVET officials meeting presents the will of being the leader in linking between manufacturing and vocational manpower development in region. And the aims of this officials meeting are the first, to connect the network and vocational strategies in the region, as well as vocational manpower development in accordance with Industrial Work 4.0. The second, to connect vocational competency with ASEAN and international standard. And the third, to develop and promote the ways of being new entrepreneurs. Now, Kun Kasidit will give you the information about the keynote address for the first part.
Thank you Mr. Natakan So today we are going to talk about the Advancing Partnership in Education for 2030 Agenda for Sustainability in ASEAN by the Deputy Permanent Secretary for the Minister of Education. All participants, please welcome Ms. Duliya Amataviwat.
Sawadika. Good morning, delegates from ASEAN member states, especially the senior official from Tibet, from the ASEAN member states. Mr. Prachakom Chantarashit, Deputy Secretary General of the Office of Vocational Education Commission. Dr. Thawatchai Uipanit, Deputy Secretary General of the Office of Vocational Education Commission, delegates, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As I am the first speaker from Thailand to this gathering, I would like to welcome all of you to Thailand, especially to Chiang Mai, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Thailand. I guess that most of you are familiar with Chiang Mai, and it might not be your first time here, so I guess you might be able to have some time to enjoy the city. Today's presentation, I've been assigned to talk about the Advancing Partnership in Education for 2030 Agenda for Sustainability in ASEAN countries. So some of my presentation might not be new to you, but my intention to bring up some issues that you might be well aware of is to link what we will have to do in terms of the provision of technical and vocational education and training. So please bear with me if I just bring up some issues that might be well aware to all of you, but at the end, I think that I will try to link those issues to what we will have to do in a few years, that you will enjoy the meeting here in Chiang Mai. So my presentation would be, this is about the framework, what I'm going to talk today. First, global challenges and the consequences of those challenges, which I'm sure that many of you will share the common vision of mine that these are sort of recurrent challenges that we have been listening or we have been familiar with those challenges. And the second one is Thailand policy on the 4.0. And of course, we have some kind of national strategy which will link to how we will provide the Tibet. And most of you know that this year Thailand is the chairman of the ASEAN member states, and our Prime Minister has announced his vision. So I will try to link the vision to the Tibet provision. And at the end, I think that I will touch upon a little bit on the advancing partnership in terms of education, which is the theme of Thailand this year. And of course, the conclusion will be my last presentation. So first, let me just remind all of you on the global challenges and the consequences. Some of you might be familiar with this picture. Right now, we are in the what we call Fourth Industrial Revolution, or 4IR, which is the sort of the revolution in terms of innovation and digital platform. And of course, it has been affected to all of us and also in education. Looking back some years back, some decades back, we were in the 1.0, and the industrial, in those days, we focus on how to produce the industry, how to share the industry in terms of the, we use the, most of the thing that we use is water power, steam power. And then we develop a little bit to the production of the, which focus on mass production. And we talk about the assembly line quite often in those days. And in the 3.0, the third revolution, we come to the computer and automation. But these years, we will be entering the 4IR, which is we use the cyber physical system, and of course the AI is quite a common word that we have listened to, and we will have to be familiar with the AI anyway, and also digital platform. Those are some words that we have been using for a few years already. And you're also familiar with the new technology. I don't think that this is a technology, but this is what kind of approach that we are going to use. Blockchain, and of course, cryptocurrencies, robotic. These are terms that you are familiar with already. So those issues are what is happening today. And of course, it will affect to education sector. As I mentioned already, we are right now in the fourth industrial revolution. If you look at this picture, if you have an office, you can do everything in one office. You don't have to commute yourself to some other place to talk with your close friend. So you can sit in one place and you can do anything. So this is what this picture tries to tell you. So as you are aware that we are in the fourth industrial revolution, as Thailand is also like other countries, we have the policy, what we call Thailand 4.0, which is announced to link the global situation right now. Those challenges are the baseline that we are announced the Thailand 4.0. And what are in the 4.0? If you look at the picture, you will see that these are the picture that show how the growth will be in the fourth revolution. We talk a lot about 5Gs, we talk about a lot about the blockchain, cryptocurrency, and those kind of concept brought us into the new engine of growth. If you look at this picture, I just want to focus on the, sorry, I'm very low in technologies. Please bear with me. I would like to show, I would like to focus on the last one, the bottom left. What we have to do and how. If you look at number 5, this is what will be linked to the provision of TVET. This is the strengthening vocational training and education system. So those concepts that I have just presented will bring together on how we will strengthen TVET in terms of the new future. I don't know if this is with this device or myself, but I'm so sorry of the technical. คลิกข้างล่างได้ไหมคะจะง่ายกว่านะคะขอบคุณค่ะ So the first part of my presentation will link with the national strategy of Thailand. Right now we have a 20-year national strategy which include at least 6 national strategies, but I will focus just on the third strategy, which is the strategy for human capacity, human capital development and strengthening, because this part is the core linkage to the Ministry of Education, because we focus on manpower. And this picture shows you many approaches that will link to this strategy. The first one is to transform social values. This is very important. How you change the mindset of the students to cope or to keep up themselves with the situation on the 4.0 industrial revolution. The second one is that we have to promote human development at all stages of life. Many countries here are entering the aging society, so we cannot stop education at the university only. That's why we talk a lot about lifelong learning very much, and we have to sort of make use of senior citizens. For example, in Thailand, in the year 2020, no, sorry, 21, we will be the absolute aging society. That means 24% of our population will be aging society, will be senior of population. So that is why lifelong learning is one of the focus in our strategy in terms of human manpower development. Next, please. And the third one is how to improve learning process. When I talk about learning process here, I would like to refer to all stages, all levels of education, including TVET. So it means that we have to look at the how we provide our education right now and how we have to improve or adjust a little bit. So perhaps in the next 5 years, students don't have to walk to school. They can just sit at home and they can study in the hologram or whatever, or using one devices, and they can do everything. So how we improve the process on education to respond to those situations. And also we have to realizing multiple intelligences. Because right now, to cope with the situation, we need multi-skills people. So how we develop the multi-skill people, multi-skills in one person, or we have talented population, how we will deal or how we will take care of them. And next is the enhancing well-being among Thai people. Of course, the ultimate aim of education is to improve the quality of life of our people. So that is why we need to enhance the skills, and also we try to equip our people with the necessary knowledge and skills. And we need to promote the conditions that encourage the human capacity development. So we have to embed the developing skills for our students, even in non-class activities. And also we have to strengthen capacity of sports and to generate social values. So these are the focus or highlights in the strategy number 3 in our national strategy, which is so-called human capital development and strengthening, which will later, I will show you the link to the provision of Tibet in the future. And as I mentioned earlier, this year Thailand is the chairman of the ASEAN country, ASEAN. So what we are focusing on the chairmanship this year is, next please, according to the theme. The theme is very short, but every word in the theme has its own meaning. For example, this theme is advancing partnership for sustainability. This gathering today is part of the theme. We try to gather, we try to organize the meetings, we try to conduct some meetings like this just to create network or strengthen the network. I know that you have the platform for you for the Tibet a lot, but today is one of the highlight and link to the theme that we are the chairmanship right now. So advancing here is that how we make our ASEAN digitalized. So digital ASEAN is very important for us, for all of us here today. And we would like to also expand not only in ASEAN, but to link the ASEAN to some other countries outside the region. So we are looking in the future. We are future oriented. And how we will do this? We have to harness the technological advances from the fourth industrial revolution. We have to enhance competitiveness. We have to build immunities from disruption of technologies, technology disruption. As I mentioned earlier, we are talking a lot about AI. I think we might have the concept of AI differently in this room. If we have 100 people here, we might have 100 concept on AI. We might have 100 concept on blockchain. And before you realize what it is, there might be some new words coming up for you. So I have to say that technology has moving on very fast. And for those who are like me, myself, I'm not the person who are very keen in technology. I cannot follow. So how we can build the immunities for our people, especially the senior citizen, to keep up with the technology. So we have to be very advanced, but not us alone. We have to bring, I have to say that we use a lot about we leave no one behind. We cannot walk alone. So that is why it links to the second word, partnership. So when we are future oriented, we need to go with our partners, not us alone. So we try to strengthen the ASEAN Center regional architecture. That is why partnership is very important to the theme this year. We have to increase cooperation, not only in economic, political, or cultural, but also education cooperation. And we use a lot in terms of the ASEAN connectivity. So partnership would like to connect people, not only ASEAN, but our region to people outside the region. That is why advancing partnership will have to go together in the fourth industrial revolution era. And now we talk a lot about the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals in the SDG. And the last one is what we have to focus a lot because it links to the 16 goals, and that is partnership. So partnership will bring us to sustainability. That is why the theme of the ASEAN chairmanship this year is focusing on these three concepts: advancing partnership for sustainability. So we would like to link our region with the SDG 17 goals, and we focus on the goal 17 just to make it happen. It here means sustainability. So we talk a lot about sustainability, sustainable security, green economy, and sustainable growth. So that is why this is the focus of Thailand and also the ASEAN countries this year. But we will not walk alone, as I mentioned. We will leave no one behind, and we will work with our partner outside the region. So next, please. And also next. Okay. Now I would like to sort of present to you a little bit the overview of the education forecast in ASEAN countries. We have the work plan on education, which is from 2015 until 2020. And in here, I would like to focus on the 8 goals, which we call the priority areas in education of ASEAN countries. If you look at this, every goal links to each other, and it will go together. We cannot leave any goal. So the first one is the ASEAN awareness. ASEAN here doesn't mean that we just know what ASEAN is, but we have to understand the values, the traditions, how people in ASEAN countries think and share value and share vision. This is the objective of this is if we have the ASEANness, we can expand our partnership to other countries or other partners outside the region. So ASEAN awareness is very important because if we share common vision, we can go in the same direction and we can sort of work with our partner in the same direction. Quality and access to basic education. I would like to say that basic education is also one of the core priority of Thailand because basic knowledge is very important to us. It doesn't mean that Tibet is not important, but basic education will sort of lay the foundation to the higher level of education, for example, Tibet and higher education, college. So still basic education is very important, and I will link later at the end of my presentation to some of the activities we are doing and to expand to Tibet. ICT, of course, is still one of the topic in the heart of people in the ASEAN countries. We try to introduce ICT in education very much, but of course, in ASEAN member states, we still have disparity in terms of using ICT. But we try to go together. So ICT is one of the topic that we are talking a lot in many ASEAN forum and also in education forum. For example, in the last 2 weeks, I had a chance to attend actually it's under another framework, CMO, but the member state is the same. Many ministers in that meeting tried to bring education, try to link education with the innovation. And of course, ICT is one of the issues that we talk a lot. ICT, technology and innovation. How we can make use of the ICT in education, especially in our schools in remote areas, because we don't have enough teachers, we don't have enough textbook. But how to link education, how to link ICT into education is very important in terms of the access to education of our school and in ASEAN, not only in Thailand. And the fourth goal is the most important to you because you are very keen to provision of Tibet. Tibet and lifelong learning, as I mentioned earlier. Now we talk a lot about lifelong learning. We cannot stop our education. And we need to think of some other alternative delivery approach. It's not like have the education in the classroom only. We have to think of how to deliver our education.
Okay. I would like to brief some statements from her